What is happening? This is a Nintendo Powercast episode 380. I'm your host, N64 Josh. We have a very, very special guest returning. The long-lost son, Super Nintendo Dad. I guess it's the long-lost dad. Super Nintendo Dad, what's going on, baby?
Hello, how's it going? I'm in front of the computer. You're looking at the back of the computer. I hope you're enjoying it.
Yeah, your camera fell and you were like,
Yeah. But here's the thing. It fell, but then I wanted to... I got this new Snappin' Green Apple Kool-Aid, and so I drank that instead of finding the camera. So here we are.
Hey, I mean, I like it. Crawler, what's up, baby?
Hey, how's it going? Crawler coming at you. And I'm gonna have to amend my score from our conversation yesterday.
Johnny, what's up?
How's it going? Before we get into this, I just want to ask the community who won last week. I mean, you can vote for Cheesy, but like I know it's only a pity vote. We all know who won that time.
Oh, look at this. Oh, there we go. I was like, I thought we had no B-roll, but we do. So we're good. There we go. Sorry about that. Little technical difficulties there. The screen was just white forever. Go ahead, Cheesy. Sorry, defend yourself.
Yeah, what's going on, Cheese Curds? I'm always excited for this podcast, and then I hear Johnny speak, and I'm like, why am I doing this?
Oh, there's so much. There's just love in the air tonight. I don't know.
Let's get you guys closer to each other. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Get them. Yeah. Maybe we should separate them though.
I don't try to go down. And...
He's just hanging out in Cheese's room now. I love it. Well, hey, before we get started, Chris, tell everybody where they can find you and about the podcast that you're doing.
Yeah, you can find me pretty much as Super Nintendo on pretty much everything. And then with Mel, we have a podcast, and her and I do a podcast called N to the O, a Nintendo show. It was very simple. I couldn't get Indy's pants to rhyme with Nintendo, so I just went with that instead.
That's clever.
I love it. Yeah,
we just like to put Nintendo in the name around here. It's
true. Crawler, where can people find you?
Hanging out in Discord, Twitter, and TikTok. Nightcrawler724. Nightcrawlers without the E.
He's lying, you guys. He only posts in our private message, and he's so
tag me
salty.
on Discord. I'll come
He's
talk
salty
to you.
about Kirby in the private messages.
Yeah, salty to say the least. Well, he'll have to bleep himself, I think. Johnny, where can people find you?
Johnny Bo everywhere. Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram.
You streaming again? You streamed a little today.
Yeah, I streamed tonight. I streamed Kirby tonight.
All right. Yeah,
that was
it too.
It was 2 hours of my life that I'll never get back.
Oh.
I mean, that's usually how time works. You don't get that time back.
Yeah, but you got to make the most out of your time, right? And I feel like I didn't make the most out of my time.
Cheesy, where can we find you besides planning Johnny's demise?
Yeah, I get real busy trying to schedule around that. But you can find me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, CheezyC64, CheezyC64.
Guys, I'm N64 Josh everywhere, and you can connect with me there. I do want to let everybody know that we have a community member, Lady AF, who had an incident with her Switch, and it got broken. And so we're all coming together to help her get a new one. We are over halfway there. And if you go to n64josh.com/GoFundMe, you can throw a couple bucks at the cause there, and she'll be getting a new OLED very, very soon. So thanks to everybody that has helped out so far. We really do appreciate it. And with that, I think we got to talk about some Kirby. So Crawler says right off the bat, I'm changing my score. What's it going to?
Like a 5.
What was your score originally?
7.
Okay.
I felt peer pressure because Josh gave it like what, a 7.5 to 8, something like that.
How long did you play the game? Well, I guess because I listened. I know Josh gave it like an 8 or like a 7.5. He wants to stay on Nintendo.
My kids haven't played it yet. I am interested to see my kids play it and maybe play it just the 3 of us, like locally. Can we play it even 3 of us locally? With 2 Switches, we can play it ad hoc, right?
Ooh, I don't know.
We can do a private, I think, right? Code based, and
I mean, you could ad hoc it. You could do. I don't know if it's 1 per system or if you could do 2 per system.
I don't know.
2 per system.
Is it 2 per system?
Even online?
I don't know about that.
Local play is 2 per system. Like you can't.
What do you do local play? Just race each other and then fight it out in the.
Yeah, you race each other and
how
CPUs,
boring is that with just 2 people?
It's not split screen. So if you are ahead of the other person, they can't even.
Wait, really? What?
Yeah.
You're a liar. You're a liar. I don't have any friends to play with, so I would never know.
But I mean, I've encountered more and more lag the races I did today. There was one point where it was just like, if you want to see some salty language, Josh posted the comment I put in our Discord, and it's just like, how can they not even get this right? It's only 4 people, and there's some points where it just comes to a standstill, and you're just waiting. And I mean, it's not as bad as what Josh brought up in the Twitter comment, which was Mario Maker. But I mean, how do they continually mess it up? That's my question. When Capcom got it so right, like Capcom has it figured out, it seems like, when it comes to multiple people playing in the same kind of instance of something with Monster Hunter and do they have anything else?
Literally every other Battle Royale does it.
Well, Fall Guys isn't that great on the Switch, but that's mainly
but you can play Fall Guys, Fortnite, Apex. You can play all the Battle Royales, and they have 60 plus connections.
Is it 4-player local on those games? Just asking for a friend.
0-player local. It's 1.
Asking the hard questions here. Cheesy, what do you think about Kirby's Dream Buffet?
I thought it was fun. It's cute, and to be honest, like I think I played maybe like 15 or 20 minutes with Hannah, and it's kind of just chaotic. Like you don't really know what it is that you're doing, or it just happens so quickly, which I think is kind of the point. Like you're not supposed to. You're just moving along so fast to collect all these strawberries, but you're going to miss them along the way. It is what it is. Like I don't know what to say, because like I'm at the point of where I'm done complaining about video game prices, and like I know that we have an opinion and we can vote with our wallets, but at the end of the day, these companies are going to choose to do what they want to do. And if Nintendo is going that route of making this Kirby game $15, that is their choice. And like, we don't have to buy it. We don't have to play it.
That's not how this works.
And you shouldn't.
It's not how this works. You got to buy it.
Johnny, I know you kind of briefly said you wanted those 2 hours back. Not a fan.
It was fun when it wasn't laggy.
So it's fun when you weren't playing.
It wasn't
Sorry,
that bad.
Brawler. Sorry, bro. We just got a spit take.
There were some really bad lag moments, like it freezes. Like it doesn't even lag; it just freezes.
Yeah.
And then, then I had some really bad lag, and it just took forever. And you can't exit a game without like closing the game, and then you get penalized for doing that. So
they yell at you.
Yeah. So that wasn't very fun. one thing I wish I know the connection kind of sucked for 4 players, but I wish it was more. Like they have in the race modes, they have I think 5 Waddle Dees on top of the players.
Mm-hmm.
So they could have had a 10-player.
It would have been really bad.
Yeah, it would have been rough, but like,
did they charge us $15 for a beta because they're going to continue to add to this?
I hope. I mentioned like maybe this is a test, like a test run, because the the levels are really cool. Like they look really good. Like it's a very cute and like charming.
There's like a
game.
burger. There's a burger one. There's a ice cream. They have cool themes, but you're always racing for strawberries, which they could have mixed it up.
I don't know what does the other fruit do? Does it do anything? I think you get
strawberry.
There's cherries, right? And then there's like a purple. Isn't there some kind of purple?
There's a blueberry and there's a blackberry.
I have seen like the Mario Party bonus stars at the end that they kind of do. Yeah. There is one that for like most blueberries consumed or most cherries consumed. So that's the only thing I can think of because I know it counts as one strawberry.
Yeah, I think it's just a bonus at the end. And what I did play of it, I do think that it is fun. Like, I don't know. I was just talking about price. Like, should it cost that much? Who's to say? But I think that it is fun where you do think that you're in first. And then when it comes down to the battle royale mode, everything can change. And then you get those bonus strawberries at the end. So the idea is there. And I like that it's Kirby. Everything is really cute and fun, and he just makes you happy anyway. But it seems like they could have worked on things a little more to make it more of a multiplayer experience.
You could have cat ears, and that's all that matters.
Oh boy, Super Nintendo. What are you thinking of Kirby's Dream Buffet?
I already deleted it. Here's the thing. All right, I played it. I didn't really enjoy it, and then I remember I said, if this wasn't a Nintendo game, I probably would have deleted it already. And then I thought about it, and I was like, well, why am I going to play it just because it's a Nintendo game? And I deleted it, and I'll go back when
when they
I'm not going to update this game. No way.
When they do the Sushi Striker crossover, that's when
deep cut. When are we going to see a sequel to that one?
Yeah, no time soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
I just
already
think it
deleted.
I just think it should have been a free.
I think everybody should see it.
It should have been a free update to Forgotten Land. Just make it a standalone thing.
Expansion pack. Expansion.
Yeah, make it
an expansion pack.
No, put it into the
expansion
Switch
pack.
Online.
But it also would have bolstered maybe sales of Kirby. I mean, Kirby's already sold pretty well for a Kirby game, but like, I don't know.
Until the first person played it, and they're like, you don't need to buy the game for this.
You know what's sad though? Like, this is gonna sell probably like 1 million copies.
Just because that much?
But
yeah, just because it's on the Switch.
I think I gave it an 8. Okay, I know that's high, but for it's a very very
simple. Pay you to say that, huh?
Yeah, right. I'm totally shilling here, but I mean, thinking about little kids playing it, like they're probably like, it's right up their alley.
Yeah,
right?
I'll report back next week when
for sure
when my little ones play it.
But I could see especially my nephews, they would eat it up. They would just think it's great because you're getting to play on like a giant fruit salad and stuff that we're just kind of like, oh, neat, whatever. But like for them, you get the imagination flowing and you get you get a little sense of competition. Like
it's one button controls. It's just press A.
Yeah, it's super super basic, and I just don't know that we're even the target audience for it. Right, being $15 and having some. I mean, we don't really care about those unlocks all that much, right? But I mean, again, a little like the younger kids that are playing it are probably like, what? I could be I can have cat ears now, or I can make Kirby a cupcake. Like, of course, let me try this. So, I do want to get to a couple of these comments. Servant says, Nintendo has no reason to improve the quality. Nintendo fans will buy everything and anything that Nintendo puts out, regardless of the quality. Why cut into net profits if not necessary?
That sounds like an attack on us.
Personal attack, right?
Not very nice, Servant.
So here's from Cryptic. It says, would you put it in the same line as the Kirby Fighter games? Yes, I think so.
Are the Kirby Fighter games free?
That one was, but it's riddled with. How much money did you spend, Chris?
Listen, we don't need to talk about the past.
It's all right. I spent $40 on a Pokemon Unite skin. It's fine.
I thought it was 20.
Fighters 2 is 20, but then there's that other one that was like the 2D boss rush game.
Yeah, the boss rush one.
And that was free to play. And
Chris played a lot of that one.
I played a lot of it. I spent a lot of it. I spent so much that they're like, listen, if you spend any more money, it's not going to do anything. Okay? Stop giving us money. And then but yeah, that one, I had more fun with that free one and even with fighters than I did with this one.
Evan64 says, all my friends are liking it. Me? I love the colorful aesthetic. Should have been like an expansion to Forgotten Land, in my opinion, though. So, which is what Crawler's been saying too. So there you go. I will say this, like I said, I gave it if you got younger kids and they can, it's something they can pretty easily play. Which, I mean, there's if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, you're seeing the Mario Kart B-roll. Again, another game that's fantastic for younger kids. And so, Cheesy, you guys were going 2-player online, yeah?
Yeah. So we first did couch co-op, and that was just fun, just the two of us experiencing the game together. Mm-hmm. And then I jumped online, and it already was kind of crazy. Like, people knew all the secrets of how to get the strawberries in the best kind of way. But I guess, like, it's being compared to Fall Guys, right? And so the appeal of Fall Guys is obviously the battle royale, 60 people in a lobby. But if it was just a 4-player online with some bots attached to it, would Fall Guys still be fun? Like, or would it just be what Dream Buffet is?
That's a good,
because they're kind of, it is the same when you really think about it. There's really not much that you do in Fall Guys.
There's like 3 modes, or there's like 3 maps in Kirby. There's a ton of maps in Fall Guys.
Well, it didn't initially, though. It was.
And there's. Yeah, go ahead, Crawler.
Fall Guys has evolved quite a bit. They're on season 8 or something like that. So they've iterated some new stuff or changed up how some of the old classic maps and games have gone, but it's evolved. I don't know if Nintendo has it in them, like we were talking about, to touch this game again. It's not in their
battle
nature.
Pass. This is gonna be the first game they add a battle pass.
I'm leaning that way, that this is them dipping their, they have the brand equity with Mario to do like a Mario Kart 99, right? Something along those lines. Yet they go with Kirby to test stuff that I feel doesn't necessarily test all that well because it's Kirby and not Mario. And then they're like, oh, see, these don't work. Or that, maybe they really go all in, and this is them saying, hey, here you spent $15, spend another 10, and here's a battle pass to unlock some cosmetics. But
what a slap in the face that would be.
It would need a lot. It would need some more variety of some kind. There would have to be there would have to be a little bit more. So it's just interesting. Again, it is only $15. It does kind of feel like an indie game. And so
Which is sad that Hal has kind of fallen to that kind of level that we're talking.
Well, I mean, they just put out Forgotten Land.
Yeah.
And that's a great
I guess he
game.
forgot about that.
They have different multiple teams, so this is not the same team that worked on that. So they have like smaller teams with the younger developers making these smaller games. Also, what's the deal with Madden football? All you do is play football in that game. That's a full price game every year.
Yeah,
what's the deal
with crazy microtransactions built into it?
Yeah, what's going on with
32
that,
teams you can play as.
Oh,
there's 32 and there's a mode, there's a
story mode now, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a road to the show or whatever in that.
Keyline,
there's the ultimate
Kirby?
team, there's the
road
ultimate
to the show
team.
is baseball.
Well, it's they have something like it. I don't know. Well, didn't you see that I made a cover of what Mario Kart would look like if Madden or if EA took over?
No,
it'd be Mario Kart 23.
Please
Mario
elaborate.
Kart 23. They'd add like 5 babies, and then Pink Gold Bowser will be in the Mario Kart Ultimate Team mode.
That's not bad.
Oh, exclusive to that, you gotta go.
Exclusive to that, you gotta buy packs.
You
all the time,
gotta go spin the roulette wheel.
I mean, Nintendo's been struggling. They've been annoying me lately, but it could be worse. It could be worse.
Yeah, that's true. So, are you going to dive back into Kirby when they have Road to the Cake, like
No,
just
that would be
DLC
awesome.
for Kirby?
You're giving Nintendo way too much credit if you think that they're going to update any of their games anymore.
Yeah, with a story mode.
I like what Cryptic's saying here. I said it, I think, on yesterday's show. Like, it would have been cool if we'd gotten Luigi's Mansions mini games with online for 15, or even if they found a way to port Nintendo Land games as a separate release, like Kirby. And again, those Luigi's Mansion only offline multiplayer games are some of the best. 4v4 playing dodgeball with giant pieces of fruit and your poltergust against Gooigi. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And the fact that like, it kills me that game just sits and doesn't get played at all, because when we do have enough people to play that game, it's so well done.
You had to pay for that too, didn't you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was DLC.
Mm-hmm. But again, like, Nintendo, like, this actually, like, I wasn't planning on going this route, and I do want to hit the Embracer Group stuff, but Cryptic's got me thinking now. What if Nintendo went this route where they made Nintendo Land and continued to update? Like, maybe it's free to play, maybe there's
free
a
updates
base
down
price,
the line.
or but it would have to be more than what they've been like. They've got to step it up. One of the things we were talking about in our Twitter group is like this should be Nintendo's time to shine, and they're flexing more of their brand equity, right? They're not really stepping up. A lot of things are coming under quite a bit of scrutiny, right? I mean, we're watching Mario Kart right now. Like, we've seen, like, Digital Foundry just did like a comparison between original maps and the new stuff, and it's something else, So this could really be their time to shine, but maybe something like Nintendo Land, where it's like, there's a base game and then a season pass that's more like
a platform for it.
More of a platform where it's like, we have an Animal Crossing style game, just like they did in Nintendo Land, that you could bounce between, and they could keep adding to it, like, and kind of just like build this thing from the ground up. Crawler, I'll start with you. What do you think about something like that? And what are some of the games that might be kind of cool in a Nintendo Land style game for the Switch?
I mean, they could take that route and have it be a way to have Wii Sports. Like, I think that game has gotten a decent amount of support post-launch with at least just cosmetics, but they could have a like a Wii Sports Island kind of section, because those are all kind of bite-sized mini game-esque kind of. You're not spending a whole lot of time with that, but Nintendo Land is regarded as one of the better games from the Wii U, but it has to rely on local are there some games that get a crazy amount of people in there? Doesn't it get some eight player game like 7v1 in Nintendo Land? Is that
you can they're all like 5-player games. If you have 2 people use the gamepad on the Animal Crossing game, you can play with 6 people.
Okay. So I mean, but they could have all the teams. So like have Hal, instead of doing the Kirby game, take some time and do a Kirby 2 or 3 Kirby mini games or whatever. Have the race be its own like, it could be its own thing, I guess, in there. But yeah, have it be a platform, and then have all of those companies that are putting stuff out. So the Scare Tower or whatever stuff from Luigi's Mansion could have an online platform to utilize it, and not be stuck on just a local only kind of thing, because they didn't either have the resources or the ability or the time to do it. And if it's something like that, then take the Fortnite route and find creative ways to put cosmetics in there to earn money, and not and just have the games update. But the flex in the game comes from buying stuff to look like your character, how you want them to look, and
Put
it can
Goku
all be
in there.
Put Goku. But yeah, I mean that would be, but that's anti-Nintendo, because it's they want to sell you up front and not necessarily rely on the money. Doesn't speak well though when you look at their statistics on what's it called? Fire Emblem Hero. Is it Heroes?
Yeah, Fire Emblem Heroes, the mobile game.
I got an email today from Nintendo about
you get a free hero.
Yeah. So I mean, they're still supporting that game, and it's
it's a huge money
over $1 billion
for them. Yeah, it's super profitable. Yeah. So and they've gotten the backlash from Mario Run, and but then they've also had flops when it came to free to play stuff. They took Dr. Mario offline. They took they haven't really supported Pocket Camp much after that last Nintendo Fishing Derby, like what, 2 years ago or something like that.
They're getting ported to the Switch. That's what's going to happen.
They still support Pocket Camp because it's still fairly profitable as well.
Okay, but so I mean, take some of the elements of all those mobile games and find a way to get them on a platform for consumption on the Switch, because you have over 100 million people that have a Switch, and get it in front of them. Have a way to have them a reason to want to exist in a ecosystem, because Fortnite just prints money, and it's evident this week with all the Dragon Ball stuff.
And Fortnite is that's where my mind was going. They see who's purchasing the
V-Bucks on Switch.
V-Bucks on Switch, right? They know. So
I've moved away from buying V-Bucks except for on Epic Store, because you get less if you buy it somewhere else.
Oh, I see. But I mean, still, for some people, that's like the Switch is their main, right? They're going to be they got it for little Billy or little Susie, and they want their Dragon Ball Z stuff. So like, and we see them retweeting that kind of stuff as well. Not to mention like Rocket League. And I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's time that they could really just do a bunch of mini games based on all of their different brands that it's just free to play and a living IPs. Exactly.
Yeah.
They could. Smash is huge because it combines all those. Like, imagine if you have Nintendo Land where you can make a game based on Pokemon or Pikmin.
Metroid, go first person. Splatoon,
well, and that was rumored, wasn't it? That Samus was going to be in Fortnite, and then that never happened.
They don't want Samus with a gun.
Yeah, but even though she's got a gun strapped to her arm.
Well, yeah, but that's like aliens.
About Metroid, apparently, what I heard was that they only wanted Samus playable on the Switch, and Epic said no, so they didn't put Samus in Fortnite. Because in the Metro, is it the Samus ship car, and Mario and Luigi,
and
you can only see them on the Switch version.
Yeah. I think that's how that whole game works. I don't think you could see like the Xbox exclusives on the PlayStation.
You just are just standard. You're just a standard car,
a generic car. Yeah.
I don't understand. Like Nintendo, I understand that you want to protect your IP, maybe, but you'll still get a cut of the sales if it's on all the other platforms. You'll get more eyes on your IP, and those are the people that you want, because everybody that wants a Switch probably has pretty much already bought one.
Almost everybody bought Chief, and everybody bought Kratos. Maybe not as many people bought Aloy, but
I bought Marcus Phoenix.
They had
Gears of War was in there, and then also Uncharted. Were both versions of Uncharted characters with the
movie.
So Tom Holland, and then the regular version of Nathan Drake.
What they could have done is what they did with Kratos and Master Chief, at least, that if you buy it, if you buy them and then you play it on the Switch, you get a special like style,
exclusive style. Yeah.
Oh, like Samus could have been the Varia suit or something.
Yeah, that would have been a great way to promote Dread. Like,
put her in the Dread suit, like the turquoise and blue or the turquoise and white. Oh my gosh, would have been amazing. Would have been so rad. Cheesy, what are your thoughts about these like kind of like mini game style? And one of the things I'm thinking as we've been talking about it, just to kind of get your creative juices flowing, Cheesy, is like almost like the Fall Guys, it seems like you're typically just running in one direction, right? So imagine if it was kind of like Splatoon meets Fall Guys, and everybody's having to shoot ink in order to race to the end. So it's like you can be like you're trying to get to the goal. You also have to swim. So everybody's got to shoot and swim, and like just going back and forth. I just wonder about something like that, like seeing some of these IPs in free to play. What are some of your thoughts?
The whole like conversation, I don't know, my Discord is going crazy right now.
Super popular.
The whole conversation is really hard for me to say how I feel, because obviously we all grew up with Nintendo. We love their IPs, their games, and to see them go, or to say that we want to see them go free to play, doesn't mean that they don't have lesser value. But it's like, are we just saying that because these look like quote unquote kids games? Is that why we want them to go free to play? Like, what is the difference between a game that should be worth money? Because like Odyssey, are we saying that that's a $60 game? Like, this is the whole conversation that I brought up at the beginning, is like, I don't think, as much as like we want to vote with our wallet, we just don't have a say in how these prices are going to go. I think especially if Nintendo is doing so well. But there are games like Dream Buffet that would work really well as a mobile game. Like, they've been trying to do mobile games, and it seems like they've been stepping away from that. But Dream Buffet could have worked really well. The card game, admittedly, in Splatoon 3, that would be fun in Splatnet. Like, maybe there is a way that you could still play it in the game, but even on the go, you could play the table turf mode. So I don't. It's really hard for me to say like what I think is worth a free to play game and what should cost money, because like you still have people that put in so much time and energy into making these games, and then just to have it go free, um, with microtransactions behind it. Like what I don't know. There's part of me that's like, yeah, Fortnite works so well, multiverses work so well because they're able to use all these different IPs because they don't really have like they don't have these familiar characters that are just in the Mario world, or characters that are just in the Zelda world. And like that's what makes Smash so great, is that we do have that one game that brings all of these characters together. But if like Nintendo keeps doing that, then the novelty just wears off, doesn't it?
Potentially. And for me, it's not an all or none, right? Like it would be great if there was, in my mind, if there was some kind of Nintendo Battle Royale, right? So whether we had like Mii's that were then different costumes, kind of like what Crawler was talking about, right? Or I don't know exactly what it looks like, but I would love to see, like, this month is our Mario month, and it's different Mario games throughout, like themes with whatever these mini games are, and so it wouldn't have to take away from Odysseys or Breath of the Wilds or any of those games, but like to have a Kirby theme and to have it kind of like what you guys were doing with Wii Sports, where you were so excited to keep playing because you were unlocking these different cosmetic pieces.
It
But
became a
have it
chore.
on
It became a chore.
right. But I mean, we're seeing like the battle pass stuff kind of evolve with, where Halo is like, look, if you don't finish it, it's still there. You can still work at it. And so again, I don't know exactly what it looks like. It's just for the sake of conversation, just kind of speculating. Super Nintendo, what are your thoughts on a like Nintendo IPs going free to play with whether it be something like Fall Guys or some kind of battle royale, or really whatever you can pull out of your brain.
Yeah, well, the first thing I thought of when you were talking about that was the thing they got going on right now with the Nintendo rewards, and how they got those like icons, and they set those up, and then they're like, that was like their big thing for that, the rewards, and they already like had the repeats of the same stuff like 3 times or twice already for Kirby and Mario on there twice. But then so to see them do something with, I think the closest we have so far is probably what, Mario Kart Tour, where they have all of they've got so many skins for these Mario characters that it's like just overwhelming almost. And so I could see them eventually doing something like that, and they could do something because if they're going to have one Mario Kart every decade, what they could do is just release Mario Kart, but have it be like a Nintendo Kart, and then when they release a new game or a new IP, put that character in the game, and then go from there.
So it becomes part of the marketing, which I think, Crawler, if I remember right, we kind of mentioned something like that too, where it was like, if they like when Kirby and the Forgotten Land came out, immediately put this out as what put out Kirby's Dream Buffet,
like free new free game mode or whatever, play with your friends kind of deal. Like it would have been
if it was 20 minutes. Like a demo or something, right? Like,
but it's something that adds to what is a lackluster multiplayer experience in what is primarily a single player game. There is a follow along with Waddle Dee, less engagement, you don't have copyability, you don't have whatever. So it is more than one person can play that game, but it's lacking because I mean Cheesy played it multiplayer, but it's not as fun, right, Cheese?
Yeah, I mean it's one of those games that it's fun, but you don't know how long it's gonna stay around.
Yeah, so I mean this could be something that just makes it a multiplayer something to do. So it adds value to a game that I think already was worth. I think Kirby was worth its value. Like, but if you can have perceived added value to something, then goodwill rises, and it's still a chance for the junior team at HAL to work on something and contribute to their main release. And I don't know. It's not like we're seeing credits roll on Dream Buffet, so you're not seeing who did it or anything like that.
Yeah.
You could watch the credits. There's an option.
Is that an option? Okay.
Yeah, there's an option. I mean, this goes back to what Servant was saying, where we're gonna buy it no matter what. Like Kirby Forgotten Land is gonna be the best selling Kirby game. So why? I want Nintendo to go back to when they needed to try. Like when the Switch came out, they needed it to work, and they did some good stuff. They had Breath of the Wild at launch. They had ARMS, Splatoon, Mario Odyssey on the first year, and now it's just been crickets, and we get kind of these
niche.
Oh my god! I tried not to say it. I was thinking of another word.
I mean, but that being said, I'm 30 hours into Xenoblade 3 and I'm loving it. So I mean,
yeah, but even Xenoblade's niche. And it's going to be the best-selling Xenoblade game. I understand that, but I don't know. I'm just disappointed with what Nintendo is doing right now because Mario Strikers was.
I think that's the biggest disappointment of the year.
And you pay $60 for what? For what?
This is what I put in our group. I said everybody's upset about the $70 Sony games, and we just paid $60 for a free to play game with Strikers. So, Super Nintendo, it sounded like you were going to say something.
The biggest disappointment we just talked about was Kirby Dream Buffet, because obviously Ocarina of Time didn't come out this year. But I will
say
that's at Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
People always say I have
Josh, if you have an issue. Yeah. No, but I was kind of disappointed, just like everyone else, with the way they laid out the multiplayer and the quote unquote seasons that they're having in.
You don't like 1 week seasons?
No, I don't. And they made it seem like we could have like 4v4s, and it's just kind of disappointing. I would rather just play it, with bust out the Wii Speak, and we'll play it over there. Play that version again.
Oh, I love it.
I guess since we're on the topic and we've talked about it a little bit, and just out of pure curiosity, what is the perfect live service model? Because we talked about Wii Sports
Fortnite.
And how
I think it's Fortnite.
Or not Wii Sports, Switch Sports, and how they're constantly updating the game, but it felt like a chore. But then you have like John Ebo that doesn't want to wait 3 months for an update on Splatoon 3. So it's like, what's the happy medium of
the battle pass?
It's like a battle pass that doesn't rush you, but it also gives you enough time. Like it gives you enough time, but it's not too long. Halo has pushed that envelope. They've gone too long. Fortnite, it's what, 3 months? I think is Apex in Fortnite.
Yeah.
With that, Fortnite has a way to have challenges that are continuous throughout the entire thing. They have some dynamic challenges that don't unlock until later on. Like there's the Vibin stuff that is like coming out sometime. There was just a summer something event, and now we're on a 2 week long Dragon Ball event. There's a unique thing this season where Darth Vader lands and you can go fight him. Like the core map kind of stays the same, but then there's elements that get jumbled around, new things added. The Daily Bugle was in for half this season. It just left this last week in Fortnite. So like there's elements that are unique and cool that have you. It's keeping the game updated that makes you want to play versus it being stagnant for too long. There's also the shop that updates and gives you a reason to possibly come in and want to buy something. And that's I think what we've talked about. Hits. Yeah, and that's what we've talked about the last couple of weeks is you have to have the players there to want to be able to buy the stuff, because they have to buy the stuff to be able to keep the game. It's a vicious circle, because you have to have the players that want to buy the stuff to then fund the stuff that makes it free to play.
Yeah, the reason that I think Switch Sports, I don't really like that model is because, you have a week or something, and then
it's like
three. I think
it's like 3 weeks.
But it can be a little taxing because it's every week something new is dropping. So if you aren't keeping up on it, then you feel an obligation. You have that FOMO, which if you care about it, you care about it. You can work on whichever one you want to work on, but if you miss it, then you miss it and it goes away.
Honestly, they just need to put Darth Vader in every game and it'll be fine.
I mean, that's what got me. That's what got me playing Fortnite this season.
All right, going back to Splatoon. Splatoon would be the perfect live service game. Have a battle pass, do collaborations with other Nintendo games, plus outside, like imagine a Dragon Ball Z mode, like a Super Saiyan Squid. Who would not want to play as a Super Saiyan Squid? Like that would be awesome.
What?
Over 9,000? Did I get that right? Over 9,000?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Hey.
For me personally, Splatoon is special because of the lore and the world building that's around it. And if you add in all of these Mario characters and different Nintendo characters and just Mario like costumes, I know that people want to see that as well. I feel like it just kind of it doesn't ruin what they already have, but it doesn't make Splatoon special in the way that they are presenting it.
You mean you wouldn't love to see a Samus Mario costume in Dread?
Wait, a what?
Like a Samus / Mario costume in Metroid Dread? Like you wouldn't love that crossover? Get a little Mario in Metroid?
I think that as much content that we consume today, and that's what it is, and that's what we have referred it to as content, that we have lost some of the appeal of just letting a story be what it is, or letting a certain IP just be its own thing. Like it's become a point and watch anytime that we're watching a movie. And I understand like moments like Endgame are those moments that we look back on and we had a lot of fun and No Way Home. But why does everything have to be connected to one thing or another? Why can't we just let
we don't have to, it could be separate,
because
you could have a Mario hat in Splatoon and be like, oh, it's the Mario hat in Splatoon.
Because you need something for Leonardo DiCaprio meme to go, whoop, there it is. Like
Plus, what's the lore on the Splatfest with the Pokemon and the Ninja Turtles? Is there any lore on that?
Yeah, I don't actually know. I'm not sure on that. You got a good point.
I think the lore is Leonardo was robbed, and we need a rematch.
They could be found artifacts, because isn't it like a post-apocalyptic world? Man, yeah. I just made
They're in the future,
into
right?
the lore.
Yeah, it's in the future.
Yeah, and they could find a Mario hat, like the they'll have a little write up of the Mario hat and be like found.
Yeah, I mean, as I'm thinking about it, there is like the NZAP is already a weapon. There's a scroll where somebody died with their Wii U console next to them.
Waiting for games to release, apparently.
It was the last one. They were like hanging on for dear life.
See, we can make this work, Cheesy. We can work in the lore and have crossovers at the same time. They could even put Goku in there, I think.
Oh my goodness.
I
mean, I totally understand where people are coming from, and I don't want to be like set in my ways about how games should be, because I think it's good to be open-minded. But I don't know. It's hard to say, because like one of the things I did really love about my 3DS was Badge Arcade, and I loved being able to customize my DS in that way. And that was like something that you could just go into every week to see if there's new badges, and you could pay for extra turns to get the claw machine to grab these badges, but you didn't have to. And that's something I feel like would be nice on the Switch, is something like that, which I guess essentially is what Dream Buffet could be. Gaming has just changed so much that it's gotten really difficult to, one, just enjoy them, because everybody has an opinion on them, where it's just like it's hard for you to enjoy it. But I don't know where I'm going with this. It just becomes like a full circle every time.
I kind of know what you're talking. It's we live in a time now where it's like the cream has to rise to the top when it comes to gaming. It used to be different. Halo 3 came out. It was an event. Everybody was hyped for it. There was nothing else that was really taking up your time, right? Even the Pokemon games back in the day, it was kind of like everybody was kind of making like you got out of the way. But now everybody is fighting for that market share. And as Nintendo fans, we want to make sure that Nintendo is able to evolve past the Switch, right? The Switch is doing fantastic, and that is great. But
Switch games aren't streamable, really.
Not really. And like I want to see Nintendo have something that we're going to be playing like a Fortnite, right? Like to see them stop dipping their toes in the water and really go all in on something. Like really, really go all in and say, what can we do with the Mario brand for a free to play live service game? What could we do with Splatoon, or what could we do, with just Nintendo as a whole? And then, like I said, run themes or I mean, they've got Mario Kart right here. There's really no, like, how many free to play racers are there that aren't like mobile games, right? To
Chocobo.
Yeah, right. But I mean, to see something more like Tour, even where it was like we were unlocking all kinds of cosmetics, like I think that would still be a major draw in the current, in the current state of gaming. But what Nintendo does is these like Kirby Dream Buffet, where they charge $15. They probably won't give the game much more support. I mean, they might do a battle pass and make it like up to 10 players or something, which would be complete chaos, and probably make that game a little bit more fun, because it would just be like, I don't even know where I am, but this is great potentially. And again, it allows for more community members to play at the same time too, when we're streaming and doing things like that. So I think for me, the conversation is really, can we see, like, when is Nintendo going to really take that step? They put out Mario 35 and then removed it. Why even take the time to make that game if you're not going to put it back on? Like
that was such a weird year, man.
It was so strange. And so there's games sitting, you've got
Advance Wars was ready to go. And I was down on that game being $60, but like now I'm on board with that. I mean, I'm gonna get it when it comes out.
Yeah, but I mean, that we saw Fire Emblem, right? Came out the NES for their anniversary, then off the eShop. Like, I understand the scarcity tactic there, but like, how many if maybe somebody's late to getting the Switch and they're a super big Fire Emblem fan or something, that they're out of luck on that. Like they can't get it. Like, and it's such weird. It's so many weird choices that like. But the other thing is like I think that stuff's getting rewarded too. I think just for lack of a better term, but I mean, no, I think Nintendo's getting rewarded for it. I think I don't know what there was really no monetization strategy with Mario 35, but Fire Emblem probably sold way better than it would because of the scarcity tactic. Mario 3D All-Stars.
I bought the thing because of the Crystal NES cartridge.
Oh yeah, super cool. But I think Mario 3D All-Stars again. Oh, it's only going to be available. I can walk into Walmart right now and see that game on the shelf.
It's illegal.
Right,
that's illegal.
No Galaxy 2.
And no Galaxy 2. Yeah. Okay.
We've talked
Super
for an hour
Nintendo. We haven't even got to our main topics yet, so we're gonna speed round this thing. Cult of Lamb, Super Nintendo. I know you've played all the way through it. Probably already deleted it. What were your thoughts?
I did not delete it yet because the game's frame rate is kind of rough at spots, and it froze on me a few times. So I'm waiting for them to release a patch, and then I got a terabyte SD card, so I only delete.
Why do you delete Kirby then?
Listen, it was a statement it had to be made. So after I said I'll be honest. After I said I deleted it, I thought, well, I talked to a few people that I kind of convinced into getting the game before I even played it. So I re-downloaded it since we've been talking. So I'm ready for that. But Cult of the Lamb is it's got farming, it's got sacrifice. You can marry as many people as you want. What more do you want? You are a lamb. You are just running around. My good buddy Pitt, I went ahead, and so you can cook poop in the game. And if you cook 5 bowls of poop, to feed to your followers, 5, you get the form it just looks like soft serve ice cream, and that's their head. And so you can like make that people's heads, and then you can just name your followers whatever you want, and then they grow old, they die, you just make them again. And
you can sacrifice them, right? You can sacrifice them.
You can sacrifice them. Yeah, some people get mad about it, other people because there's also like leveling up your whole town or cult. You got farming involved, and so it's a lot of fun. But what I found is I didn't want to stop playing once I started playing, and then like I'd put it down for a few hours, go back to it, and then just keep playing. But if you are going to play it, I would say maybe if you can play it on another system, or wait for the Switch 2.0, that's coming out any day now, according to the leakers.
This is a 2D indie game. Why does it run so bad?
Listen, there's a lot that you feed people.
It's a Hades like. I mean, you're fighting room to room. I mean,
you go go room to room. Yeah.
Is it made by the Binding of Isaac team? It looks like Binding of Isaac a little bit.
It's made by the people that did Adventure Pals, that game. It does remind me a lot of Hades going through the dungeons, but then also the farming reminds me of like, what if Animal Crossing was good? It's kind of.
I was just saying,
what?
I mean, what? the little bit I've played, I would describe it as like Hades meets Animal Crossing meets the Woodland Critter Christmas characters from South Park.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
I also like how you just slipped in that Animal Crossing is bad, and nobody is.
Well,
mentioned that.
I like Animal Crossing, but the next Animal Crossing, I don't want it to load for 13 minutes when someone comes into my village. I'll tell you what. Let's not do that. But yeah,
you gotta wait 15 years anyway. So
Yeah, that's true. Maybe they'll release another board game in between.
Oh my
It was a
God.
misunderstood game. Okay, that was a misunderstood game.
Yeah, but yeah, Cult of the Lamb, it's really good. It's probably one of my favorite games of the year, even with the mainly 20 frames a second most of the time. But yeah, it's good. And actually, I found it performs better in handheld mode than it does docked. So I don't know why it does that or how it does it, but I'm not going to question. I'm just going to keep playing in docked. And so after you beat it, there's no like new game plus. You just keep going, and you can just like keep building your village or whatever you want to do. And I guess it's less of a village, more of a cult. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it is apparently already sold 1 million units. So there's that.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Well, the last but not least, we're not going to spend a ton of time on this, but I do want to bring up the Embracer Group acquisition here of a lot of games. It is they have so much IP. This is insanity. Okay, I'm going to just go through this list real quick. But The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, The Ascent, Sanctum, Goat Simulator, Satisfactory, Gianna Sisters, Destroy All Humans, Deep Rock Galactic, Realm of the Mad God, Dragon Veil, Flat Out, Wreckfest, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Gothic, Risen, Elix, MotoGP, MXGP, Darksiders, Remnant from the Ashes, and Chronos Before the Ashes, SnowRunner, Duke Nukem, Zen Pinball, Castle Storm, Maneater, Metro, Shadow Warrior, Evil West, Trek to Yomi, Borderlands, Brothers in Arms, Homeworld, Homefront, Road 96, Torchlight, Hob, Neverwinter, Gex, Tomb Raider, Legacy of Kain, Deus Ex, Thief, Second Sight, Alone in the Dark, This is the Police, Saints Row, Dead Island, We Sing, The Blob, Red Faction. The highlight for me right here, Time Splitters. Please give us a new Time Splitters. MX
They're
versus
buying all these
ATV.
IPs so they don't produce any more of them.
So they don't, but yeah, that could be the case. And Killing Floor. I would love to see Time Splitters.
THQ Nordic?
It's a lot. It's
it
a
sounds
lot.
like it.
Yeah,
that's they had the Darksiders,
right.
And the MX and all that. I think that was THQ Nordic, but I don't know.
I didn't really hear any of that. Did you also say limited run games?
That was on the that's not even, I'm looking at the article right here, and it doesn't even include the limited run, and so having distribution and even some publishing
and physical stuff,
and tons of physical, so they I was just looking at like a pie chart, and Xbox is getting a lot of flack for the Activision Blizzard acquisition,
mainly because Sony's crying in a Brazilian court. So
right, but it's a fraction. Microsoft has a fraction of the IP that Embracer Group now has,
or Tencent.
It's
Who will actually get a new game out first? That's the real question.
Yeah, right. That's what everybody wants to know. But so crazy stuff. My question that I want to know, why aren't we seeing Nintendo kind of step up and make some of these acquisitions? They've got the cash.
They're like sitting on their cash. They're like Smaug, the
dragons from Hobbit.
Smaug.
They're just hoarding their money for, I don't know, who knows.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna dig in a little deeper into this topic of Nintendo acquiring stuff on the Patreon show, NPC Wired, which is not family friendly. So if you want to hear Johnny say a lot of swears, make sure to head on over to patreon.com/Nintendo Powercast. Thank you guys so much for being here with us live. We record on YouTube at 9 p.m. Pacific every Thursday. And
Wave Race
one
is
last
out. Go play
time.
it.
Yeah, Wave Race is out. Go check it out. Super Nintendo, where can people find you and your podcast?
Yeah, so you can find me at Super Nintendo on pretty much everything, and then N to the O, a Nintendo show, is the name of the podcast. And one more thing, create a Japanese eShop account. Okay, here's what you're gonna do: you're gonna download the Japanese Nintendo 64 NSO app. And then you're going to open the game with your US account, and then you can play any of the Japanese versions of the games. And Wave Race is one of those games that in Japan, they re-released Wave Race and Mario 64 with Rumble support, but we never got that in America. So if you want to play Wave Race 64 with Rumble, all you got to do is download the Japanese app, create an account, look up a 7-Eleven in Japan, make that your address, and then go from there.
the pro tips right here. Thank you guys
Put
so
in
much
more
for
effort than Nintendo did for loading that game on there.
Oh, that's at John Evo. Bye, everybody.